What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, Pat Bernard, aka the Gobbler, aka Pat from Ambler. I am live and I am with you for the next 45 to an hour or so. We are going to be talking a lot about Union Soccer, a lot about the world of MLS soccer alone. And what can we take away from this week? Well, we can react to obviously new world champions. The MLS has a new face. Everybody thought the LAFC was going to take this thing. A couple of my co-hosts, Gus, Austin, they thought for sure this was going to be another LAFC championship. They thought they were going to run it back. However, the Columbus Crew was something that this LAFC team hasn't yet to ever seen before. The LAFC team just really ran them into the ground. They just brought tons of offensive pressure. They were really bringing the house, and they couldn't do anything about it. They brought tons of offensive pressure, and they just didn't have an answer. So let's get into the comments right off the bat. My man Nunez, what's up, Nate? Have a great show, guy. Hope all is well. I hope all are well. Oh, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. That's about the nicest thing. You must be Christmas time, because my man Nunez usually has a coffee reference for me. Anyway, what's up, Dave? What's up, buddy? Yeah, I'm flying solo tonight. Gus is not feeling well. Austin's packing. He's moving out to Bloomsburg, so it is just me running the show tonight. As the soldier that I am, I come through when all chips are down, the dark night rises. And yeah, so I'm going to do my best, guys, to provide you some MLS news. So again, getting back into this MLS Cup final. Yeah, like I said, LAFC just didn't see this kind of play before. They were bringing tons and tons of offensive pressure. LAFC just did not have an answer. Didn't. The way they just kept on bringing it, forcing turnovers and bringing it. I mean, they really scouted this team well. If you go to Cucho Hernandez, I mean, he was their offensive firepower in the very beginning of the game. Again, he was taking a bunch of shots, and one did get in off the penalty kick, which was his money shot, and that kind of set the tone of the game. And then they continued to bring some more offensive pressure. Bringing it. Yama. Forced the turnover, goes wide open. The Opposing goalie tries to make a defensive play, finds the back of the net. So, again, guys, a lot of good things. Well, if you're a Union fan, definitely feel good about not having LAFC win the championship. However, it's a little daunting some if you're a Union fan because when your division rivals take the cup, take the cup, guys. I want to talk about to you. What do you think now of the Columbus Crew? Now that they won a championship, now they got one underneath their belt. Is it daunting that a divisional rival's got it? Are you happy about it? Because I'm not. Because I could really pinpoint a lot of trouble for this Union team. As you can hear, my son just going off in the background. He's just so excited to just be my background guy. No, but overall, guys, I just trying to figure this out. I'm just really trying to figure out why LAFC got toasted, like unprepared. They looked unprepared until the second half of that game. And Dennis Baluma, he didn't come out with a goal until the end. And he had what 16 minutes left on the clock to try and make something happen, and he did. He got his goal in. But LAFC looked cooked. LAFC looked cooked, guys. They looked unprepared. Like this Columbus Crew was ready for the knockout punch. I get it. They were the home team. But yeah, I don't know if LAFC just took them lightly. I thought maybe they thought they were going to just go in there and just handle business like normal. But the Columbus Crew, and I did predict the Columbus Crew were going to win this thing. I just saw the way, again, they battled back against FC Cincinnati from being down 2-0. The way they battled back against FC Cincinnati, turn it around, head into the MLS Cup, and just rock the LAFC right from Jump Street, bringing tons of offensive pressure. Cucho Hernandez gets the PK goal. It sets the tone for things. That's what you needed, some hungriness. They have hungry dogs on that team. Hungry dogs. Guys who can play. They wanted it more. LAFC didn't really get bothered, didn't get busy until about midway through the second. 16 points left on the clock. They were cooked. They looked gas. They looked unprepared, LAFC. Yeah, terrible night. Terrible night. Great night for Cincinnati. Not Cincinnati. The Columbus Crew, again, obviously now winning the championship going forward. Giving that town something to celebrate. Again, showing out in the week prior, they showed FC Cincinnati who runs Ohio. And now they showed the world who runs the MLS. So my question to you guys, all the Union fans out there, how do you feel? Where do you think we line up? How far away are we from a team like the Cincinnati Crew? Do you think we're right there? I gotta be honest, like I love our man Gus here. I get the love for Andre Blake. 2-time in the postseason. Crumble cookie. Just saying. Ah, my man Olsen. Checking into the program. He gives all the credit in the world to the Columbus Crew winning the MLS Cup. They played very well the entire playoffs and kept the momentum. I totally agree. This could have been the end of the era for LAFC. Yeah, this can be an end of an era. this could have doomsday written all over LAFC. And look, I know Union fans feel better that they didn't win. They didn't run it back. But in hindsight, I kind of feel bad because of the fact that our division opponent got it. Granted, the Union showed they were one of the top 4 teams in the East. It got really down to the wire of Orlando, Cincinnati, Columbus, and Philly. But still, regardless, I don't know. To you guys, you tell me, how far do you think the Philadelphia Union are away from the Columbus Crew? Because the team I saw on Saturday, the leashes, the dog leashes came off, the dog chains came off, and those guys just ran like hungry wild dogs. They were hungry. The hungriest dog will win the dog fight. They were hungry. They came right out of LAFC with like I can't stress enough about all the offensive pressure. Right from the jump. I mean, they just pretty much put LAFC right in the corner of the ring and started giving them body blows and headshots and body blows and body blows. And like I said, granted, LAFC started to come back midway right after the second half. They didn't get nothing on the board until 16 minutes were left on the clock. So technically, that's garbage time. And they pooped the bed. They pooped the bed, and now this winning the cup only. And this is another reason I have an issue with Columbus winning the championship here. The only reason this is bothering me because this makes our division look stronger, yes, but it makes our enemies look 10 times better than us, right? Like right now, not to shift gears, but the Cowboys look better than the Eagles at this current time. People are going to fight with me and tell me, yeah, no. I said this last Sunday on my show. Cowboys look better, but again, Columbus, they got a team. They had hungry dogs from the jump. From the jump that wanted this. They could have felt that they were at home. They had the home momentum going. They had the crowd going. That's how you perform in front of a crowd. That's how you take care of business. They had the crowd the palm of their hands, guys. And they did this thing. And they did it. They did it. All without all the storylines probably were out there talking about how LAFC was the go on favors and all this other stuff. I guess they didn't have tape with them because this Columbus Crew doesn't know when to quit. Right? They ran through Orlando easy. They go into Cincinnati. Battle through diversity. Came back and made it a game. Long nights ahead for and just like I said, I want to know from you guys how far are the Philadelphia Union from being a vital contender? Are they years? Do you think they can get right back on it next year? Well, we're about to find out. But guys, stay tuned. I'm going to run a quick ad. I'm going to get right back into it because let's go around the world of MLS right now because there's been some moves being made, some head coaching changes. And Gus, Jose, if you're listening, love for you to chime in. JD, love for you to chime in. Whoever's out there chiming in, all you soccer heads, chime into the program. I'll be right back My man Dives is going to give you a quick tip on one of our great sponsors here at EOP.
All right, guys, if you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best. Go to phillysportstrips.com. They have self-travel packages and full travel packages available with round-trip flights from the Philadelphia airport. Packages include direct flights, 4-night stays, all-inclusive tailgate parties, lower-level group tickets. Whatever you want, you got it with phillysportstrips.com. If you want to travel to an upcoming Phillies game, make sure you check out Philly Sports Trips. And do not forget, Philly Sports Trips has all the away trips for the Eagles' upcoming 2023 season. Jump on it now, because you do not want to lose out on all these great opportunities. Go to phillysportstrips.com.
All right, guys, you are back with your boy, the Gobbler. And a couple of things that went around the league. And I'll start out with yesterday's news, or the day before, I'm sorry. A couple head coaching changes. Dean Smith from the English Premier League takes over the head coaching job for Charlotte. What's your thoughts on that? I need all the diehard soccer heads out there. Tell me, what do you think about Dean Smith taking over? I read into his background today. Phenomenal resume. He had to work his way up for things, but again, a successful head coach nonetheless. Looks how to get offensive players going, and this is coming from someone who was just a midfielder. But nonetheless, this guy's for real. And how much is that going to impact? Does that turn that franchise into a playoff team? Is that what the piece that they're missing? Is a real direction, leadership? Again, like I said, quite the resume this guy's got. Dean Smith from the English Premier League is going to come over and start coaching this young core. Daniel Barry, what's up, my brother? I'm curious to know how much of an input do you guys think that he's going to have with again, he's talking about, you hear all the things you want to hear in press conferences, and you're talking about this, that, and, togetherness and so forth, and yada, 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 yo. When it comes down to brass dollars, we need to see dubs, right? That's what the Charlotte fans out there want to see. And will they get it? I don't know. I didn't see too much All English Premier League soccer. I didn't see much of it. I wish my man Austin was here, because my man is a technician. Him and Gus are two technicians on knowing players and coaches from all around the world, especially Austin. That is his. It's like Gus controls like South America, and Austin controls all Europe. So, but I'm curious to see what kind of impact is this guy going to make moving forward. And I don't think they're too much of a bad franchise, to be honest with you. It's just I feel like if anything, they are missing a direction. They are missing a direction. So, to be honest, the Union, I mean, what's called, they were there this year. They just made it to the wild card round. Believe it or not. So that's how quickly our minds can forget. But maybe this is the direction. Maybe this is the move that gets them over the hump. If you are a Charlotte fan, please chime in. How do you feel? If you are a Charlotte FC Charlotte fan, let me know how you feeling about a brand new head coach that could possibly turn your franchise around. If you don't believe it, I understand. maybe you don't have enough homework on the guy. Maybe I'm telling you, if you get a chance and opportunity to look into him, he's got a phenomenal resume. I read into it this morning. Um, it looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. Looks like he could be troublesome for the East. It's not another problem that the Philadelphia Union don't need. Not this current time. They got too many problems in the mirror, let alone. But I gotta give it to Charlotte in that front office for going shopping across seas and bringing somebody else in. Tons of credit for those guys. Tons of credit. Like I said, looked solid. Looks like a solid move. Again, he's been a couple to ring up his bell here. Again, like I said, he's going to tell you about all the moves and all that other fun stuff and so forth. But like I said, ultimately, again, you read into a story talking about how great of a all of his his press box and his press conference talking about he's going to do this, that, and the third. How he's looking at now. It's like let's get to the season. What 6 weeks, 2 months? They should be up and ready to go. So I don't know. It's going to be a fun season. It's going to be a lot of curious questions coming up. See what Charlotte's going to do. How about another team that made a move today? A division rival, the New York Red Bull. The New York Red Bull actually make a move today. And the New York, that's my son saying, "What's up?" All right, thanks, Tommy, for saying what's up to me. How about the New York Red Bull making the move today for Sandra Swartz? The German native, all this, all that stuff. Playing in the Russian Premier League. You know, Played in the Russian Premier League. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, that's my son. Just wants to come talk to his daddy. So thanks, buddy. Um, but yeah, like I said, guys, it's a lot of moving pieces this year, and it's gonna be a lot of fun for whatever happens. And again, we know coaching changes are gonna happen, especially the bottom feeder ones. They're gonna want to try and turn their franchise. They're gonna want to turn their franchise around. My man, Jay, the doctor's in the house. J.D. Walker. He says, "What's up, dude? Didn't realize you were flying solo tonight." Yeah, my friend, I am flying solo. I am trying to do the best I can, filling in for two of the greatest on talking soccer. Yeah, so a lot of moving pieces, JD, as I'm talking about. Uh, the Red Bull make a head coaching change. The Charlotte makes a head coaching change. If you haven't caught my earlier rant, Dean Smith goes to Charlotte from the English Premier League. Sandro Swartz from the Russian league with what's it, Dynamo Moscow. Um, he's going to be taking over now. The Red Bulls. Um, I still don't think they're going to be much of an impact. I don't. This might give. And maybe I have to dive into. I mean, this news just literally broke out, so I guess I have to do some more research and see how much. Why did New York go after him? Why are they bringing him in here? But it's look, it's an exciting move nonetheless. When a franchise is not going anywhere, your head coach has not been here for a little while. We're still, chasing our tails, not coming up with something creative. That's what we got with the New York Red Bull. That's what we got with the New York Red Bull. Some good, some good. Look, it's an exciting time. They're going to bring in a coach. I don't think they're going to be anything though. Sandro Source is going to have a lot of work, nonetheless. But we'll see. We'll see if the Red Bull make an impact. Maybe again, just like Charlotte. Maybe this is the one move that they needed. Maybe a head coaching change is all that they needed. We'll find out. We'll find out if he's the guy. We'll find out if he's the guy. But like I said, I hope he's not because I don't like the Red Bull. I hate the Red Bull. But anyway, there's some other news though that went down. But before I do that, before I get into some more news, again, if you guys are chiming in, please, if you want to talk about the head coaching changes, if you guys want to talk about your reaction to the MLS Cup, please drop some comments. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and you can't do it on Twitter, but we're on Twitter anyway. We have a lot, again, talking about MLS Cup, talking about some head coaching changes. I just mentioned there's 2 of them that have changed, all in the Eastern Conference, by the way. And I've just mentioned about to get in some union news that kind of transpired today and the other day. So let me highlight some. Let me go through some of these great sponsors, and I'll be right back with you.
All right, guys, let's talk about Cherry Law Firm. If you get hurt at work in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, you got to call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Firm. Call 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your rights. Again, that number is 610-565-0300. That's 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your right.
Thank you, Dies. Thank you, buddy. That's my man, Dies. You talk about a workhorse to the EOP. That's a little crack on my screen. Jesus. Don't mind me there. If you guys... Oh, I just want to know about all your takeaways. My man JD says, give me a few minutes to finish up something here, then I'll hop on and help you out. Let me put JD on the hot seat a little bit. Yeah, JD's a very intelligent man. I like to pick his brain. Very, if you guys ever get a chance, if you guys are ever down at Subaru Park, and you see an awesome man walking around there, as cool as the other side is a pillow, just has awesome written all over him. That's my man JD. You can't miss him. Cool as can be, JD. But anyway, there's some news that popped up. Actually, one today with Nick Pirano. Again, from Duke University. Again, someone from the Union Academy, pretty much. He's going to come up, get an opportunity to play for the team. So, if you don't know by now, this is the Union mantra. Instead of going to sign some big names, trying to bring some names in here, they'll keep on building through the farm system, which is great to a certain extent. It's the same old going around. So, and then, of course, you have Isaiah LeFlore, a defender, who came in from Houston. He was part of their development team, Dynamo 2. But however, we'll take it. We'll take a play. You know what I mean? He looks like he's going to be a playmaker. It's only a 1-year deal, so if he stinks, he stinks. I don't know if he'll have a shot to make the team, but we'll see. I mean, if the kid turns out he can play, bring him up. I mean, to me, you definitely need a midfielder. You need some kind of goal scorer. If there's anything I'm going to take away negatively away from this Philadelphia Union team. It was the fact that consistently they didn't have a goal scorer. Love Carranza. Love Gazdag. But let's be honest, Gazdag was more of a facilitator. And the only time he made goals were in penalty kicks. Other than that, he was pretty much useless. And Carranza was okay. But like Gus said it best. Don't know this cat, man. He's a goal that's right here, he misses it. Goal all the way up to here, he makes it. I don't understand. Don't understand Carranza. I scratch my head trying to figure out this guy. I get it. Oh, he's young. Oh, he's a puppy. Leave him alone. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Professional sports is loaded with young talent. You don't make it past in sports. You don't make it past 36. After that, you might as well retire, unless you're Ric Flair. But in sports, that's all we have as young guys. It's a sink or swim kind of business. Oh no, lays and germs. Uh-oh. He's not in the press box. He's not. Uh-oh. I think when I said Mr. Cool's as smooth as cool as the other side of the pillow, he's here. He's ready to rock and roll. So let's bring on my man JD. Let's see if he can answer some of these heavyweight questions I got loaded for him. JD, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Pat? Just just out in the Pineys. My mom's going through it right now, driving her back and forth to radiation every day. So it's tough, but we're working through it. Shout out to Jose. I know he's going through some rough patch with his family as well. So hey, we're all helping. We all help each other out. Wish everybody the best.
Absolutely. All prayers, all that. Hoping everyone for the best. Yeah, it's tough, brother. But let's try to enlighten the mood a little bit. I don't know if this is going to enlighten the mood. How do you feel about LA? What was your initial reaction when you saw LAFC falling apart to Columbus Crew?
I loved seeing the pretty boys melt in the rain in Columbus. It was a beautiful sight.
Yes.
Yeah. And that annoying little shit Chiellini retired after the game too. Bye.
And he's gone. yes, he's gone. Because like I said, when I went down the X's and O's, I really looked at the game, and I had to rewatch it, and it looked like at first it looked like Columbus came to play. They were feeding off the home energy, everything like that. It was kind of that Phillies mix for them. They had the crowd at the palm of their hands, and as soon as the bell rang, they came out putting LAFC right in the turnbuckle and started hitting with body blows, headshots, body blows, headshots. I mean, bringing tons of offensive pressure. They couldn't look like they couldn't even keep up. Cucho Hernandez just unloaded with a penalty kick. Yama comes out with a breakaway. He tattoos their defender and finds the open net. And to me, it looked like LA didn't even come to play until at least that second half. They try to make something happen.
They were barely they were barely on the attack at all the entire first half. Columbus was in their end the whole time. They just punched them in the mouth right from the beginning. And LA never recovered.
Yeah, they never recovered at all. I mean, this was, like I said, Dan's trying to get them on the scoreboard in garbage time, but by then it was already over. This game was already in the toilet. Columbus was like, to me, was already considered the champions. Again, they try and bring some offensive pressures, but Columbus just making some turnovers.
Yeah, and also just we knew going, as you and I have seen before, 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer because you can turn around and blow it like that. So I did get a little worried towards the end. Like, if anybody's going to do that, it is LAFC who is capable of that. But Columbus was not letting up. Props to Wilfred Nancy, one of the class acts in the game, especially after he got hosed in Montreal last year. So for him to go over to Columbus and just bring them right back to the top, good for him.
Yeah, and again, good for them. Now, my other question is, how far apart are we from Columbus, in your eyes?
We're there. I will say that regardless of how the game with Cincinnati ended, if that offside call or whatever on that goal had gone a different way, didn't matter. Columbus would have waxed the Union in the conference finals, I think.
Wow.
We may not like to hear that, but Columbus is just they were on a machine gaining steam through the course of the season. And also remember that all of the issues that the Union had for the course of the season with CONCACAF Champions League, Leagues Cup, all those deep runs, all those miles adding up. I don't think Columbus went that deep in US Open Cup or in Leagues Cup. They weren't in CONCACAF. Yes, and they were playing extra time down the stretch in the game. That's because they had 15 games less than what the Union played this year. So they came to play. They had gas left in the tank with this insane gauntlet of an MLS schedule. It's just about survival. And Columbus came on at the right time and was built for that. Well coached throughout the season with a talent like Cucho. You can't go wrong with that. It's what's up, Mitch?
What's up, Mitch?
Yeah, but I wasn't sure. The goaltending I was a little shaky on in the beginning of the year, but they got better as the year went on.
Yeah,
and just he made some big saves.
Yeah, they did. Like I said, you said it perfectly. Like, they came on at the right time. They got hot at the right time. Again, all that LA, the CAP stuff and all the US Open, all that. Like I said, at some point the gas tank got empty for this Union. You know what I mean? And again,
gas tank was empty 3 months ago.
Yes.
Let's be real.
Honest. To be honest, yes. And for you and I and the rest of Philadelphia, you might not want to hear this, but all Union, and I predict this from the beginning of the season on the show. I said, to me, after the style play, the Union looked like they're nothing more than a second round knockout. And I know because of the Sixers and the Phillies and all that transpired, that just turned out to be nothing more than a second round knockout. And that's all they are. And to me, like I said, I love Carranza, but if the goal ain't Jake Elliott kind of goals, he's missing it because he'll make the ones. He's like the most confusing guy I've seen. The goals always, across the other side of the river bridge, he'll make it, but the ones are like right here in 4D and in front of him, he'll miss it. I scratch my head trying to figure it out, analyze it. And again, I get it. He's young, but that's what sports is. They're nothing but young kids and cats running around.
Yeah. He's only, I think 23. Carranza's only, I think, 23.
23.
And I believe Olympiacos offered I don't remember if this was confirmed or not, but the rumor was that Olympiacos offered an $8 million transfer fee in mid-season, and the Union turned it down. So in the off season, if an offer like that or more comes again,
you gotta pull the trigger.
This is how Ernst rolls. He's taking it.
Yeah, you gotta pull the trigger. And then, like I said, that's another thing. I like a lot of people, like Gazak, right? We love him, but he wasn't the same player he was last year. Last year, he was a scoring machine. This year, he was a facilitator. And let's be honest, the only time he really scored was off penalty kicks.
Yeah, I think all but one of his goals were from the spot this year.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and like I said, he did okay. And midway through the summer, him and Carranza were starting to have some kind of chemistry, and then after that, it kind of just they went away from those things. They went away from playing well and being a contender worthy, and then it's just like then then we got stuck with the injuries and the draws and all those other things. Even you and I covered in the press box and talking to the gyms and Bedoya's, and Bedoya even said to me, he goes, the schedule is getting to the team, and the injuries piling up does not help it either.
And it's going to be worse next year. I think I heard something that CONCACAF starts late January next year.
Really?
That's insane. Like at least they got an extra. That's one silver lining of second round loss is that you at least get 2 extra weeks of off season back.
Yeah,
but really, it's hard, especially in competition like this. When you win a championship or you get to a championship, you qualify for all of the other side quests, as I saw one message board user call them. Where all the things like CONCACAF, Leagues Cup, U.S. Open, that's all elaborate side quests from the goal you want, which is an MLS Cup championship.
right.
I admit, I loved covering CONCACAF earlier this year.
Same.
I thought that was a great tournament, and that does a much better job than Leagues Cup as far as bringing together talent. Where we will see what form the calendar takes next year, which is going to be just as crazy. You also have Copa America worked in there somehow. I don't know where that's supposed to fit, and they want to try and are they going to try and do this seriously? Do the same thing with League Cup again? How is this going to go? And it's just quantity over quality, and it's a war of attrition. And Columbus was the last team standing this year. And but it's really hard because NYCFC faced the same problem the year before, where they had, because of CONCACAF and everything else, they started to wear down towards the end of the 2022 season. So the Union went through it this year. They went through all the extra games and no trophies to show for it.
Right.
And Gazdag and other players like Gazdag and Carranza, opposing defenses were keying in more on them this year. Gazdag especially.
Yes.
It felt like every time we turn around, somebody had knocked Gazdag on his ass. And he was just getting clobbered in the midfield, and especially in CONCACAF is like the CONCACAF, and playing Liga MX teams is like the NBA in the 90s. They'll just be knocking the crap out of each other, and the refs just shrug.
Yes. And it's so funny because so that this past summer was my first time getting able to cover the CONCACAF, and and you're right. Yeah, they play on another level. Like this ain't your typical. No, they're throwing elbows, they're throwing punches, and that's just their style of play. And what cracked me up
that roll at the end of the Querétaro game.
Yes. And what cracked me most about it is when we were in the press conference room, the after we got done with Jim, the Mexico coach came up to ask for people to ask questions. Like after he locks eyes with my man Jose, like after Jose asks his questions, the translator automatically looks at me, and I'm like, bro, I'm Italian, bro. I don't know what he's saying up there. I don't know what he's saying up there, my man. I'm Italian. I can't. I wish I could. I can't speak the beautiful Latin Spanish, but no, I'm Italian from Northeast. I got nothing for you, homie. I got nothing.
I took Spanish in high school, and oddly enough, now that I've been around the team more and hearing the bilingual players talking more, I'm kind of starting to get it back a little bit, but not enough to ask a coherent question for in Spanish. At least not yet.
No, that's why I told my man Gus. I said, this year, no excuses. I gotta get you in there because I said you would be more beneficial than I would be. I said because of knowing, from you being Peru and you can answer some questions. I I said I am lost in the sauce. I want to have a general conversation with my man Jose, but I'm like Bruno, but I'm like, nah. I want to, buddy. I want to do something this Mike and ask you a question, but I can't. Um, but yeah. So let me ask you though. There's been some head coaching changes too, though, in MLS. What did you think about Dean Smith taking the job for Charlotte, and what did you think about the Red Bulls taking Sandro Schwartz?
The Dean Smith move is an interesting one. Definitely throwing out. This is the David Tepper way, where he's like drunk Steve Cohen, where he's just where he has as much money to try and throw out at everything, but he has no patience with coaches. It's the same. Look at what he's done with the Panthers. He's done the same thing with Charlotte FC, where this will now be the third coach in three seasons. And he has some success. He definitely has a good resume that should translate to MLS success. But will Tepper give him enough time to even get a system in place and really get any success? I don't know that, because the way he's running his teams, he's paying more for coaches to go away. He's got to be paying more in severance packages for coaches than he's paying on the entire Charlotte FC payroll. But this guy has more money than sense, clearly. So we'll see what happens there. I'm skeptical. Red Bull. You said he came from the Russian league. He was from Dynamo Moscow.
Yes.
Okay, that's a solid club. I don't know if that type of success will. I don't know that much about his resume. He's probably has he been just in the Russian league or with Dynamo, or has he bounced around Europe?
As like I said, I took a quick look at his. Like I said, I didn't fully look at his resume. All I know is that he's bounced around obviously between did some work in Germany, and of course he did. He's part of that Russian Domino club. So, I mean, again, I don't know how much stock I can look into his resume prior coming to the show. But yeah, like I said, I'm curious to know how much of an impact is he going to be the call? Is he going to be the guy who could change that direction of that team? That's a start for those guys. If this guy's going to be a real player. So, but let me quickly get into one of these great ads, and we're going to get right back to action.
All right, guys, let's talk about Cherry Law Firm. If you get hurt at work in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, you got to call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Firm. Call 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your rights. Again, that number is 610-565-0300. That's 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your right.
Yeah, well, I am back. Well, listen, it's going. Let me get ready to wrap up the show though, because I got some things going on. But look, I want to say thank you so much, JD. Thanks for hopping on. And listen, next week we will be back real fast. Like I said, Nick, with some big time union news. Austin, Gus will be back. But like I said, thank you. Like I said, we'll see what this union team's all about.
Yeah, I did look up Sandro Schwartz on Wiki. Got a little more about his history. He's coached in the Bundesliga a little bit, so he definitely has some experience. But I don't know how this is really going to help Red Bull too much. They need a lot more changes than just changing the head coach. Troy did a good job the second half of this year as far as coaching that team, but they need a top to bottom rebuild, which it appears they're working on. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll still kick their ass.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. But listen, like I said, JD, I want to say thank you so much for hopping on with me. Guys, check out JD. JD, what's your plug so people can follow you at?
So you can find us at streampunkynt.com is a website for my writing. Streampunk Soccer on YouTube and Streampunk Sports at streampunkynt on X/Twitter, whatever the heck it's called now. It's Instagram, all that. We are we're growing. We're expanding our coverage. We're trying to get covering a few more teams in MLS next year. We've got some things we're building on, and maybe a Big East college basketball show coming soon.
Well, guys, listen, I know a couple of people out there love their college hoops. So, guys, give my man JD a follow on X, on Facebook, Twitter, you name it, he's there. Guys, go give him a follow today. Stay tuned. In about 10 minutes, we will have our video game show coming up here. Talking, so you guys, we're talking some Doom, Sonic, and NBA jams. So, guys, stay tuned.
Nice.
We got bundles of stuff coming up here. But, guys, thank you so much. JD, my main man. Always does great work in the press box, guys. He's a working horse. Give him a follow. All right, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks, JD.